person that, like, or you have a bad dream and you reach out and you touch them in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden you're calm and you can go right back to sleep. Like, for me personally, that means more to me than a lot of other things that people, consider. Because, like I said, I think society has tried to downplay
Yeah.
love, and we've tried to materialize love and socialize love as a commodity and something that can be bought and traded
Yeah.
and pushed around. And I think at the heart of it, when you find somebody, I think when we talk about true love, you want to talk about soulmates, whatever you want to call it. When you find somebody that sees you, and you see them, and I'm talking about, you see them at their best, you see them at their worst, you see them at the good, you see them at the bad, like, the entire spectrum of what happens in your life. When you find that one person, you are willing to do whatever it takes. Now, is that changing yourself? Is that changing your
Yo,
situation? Is that,
yo, what up, what up,
good
what up, what
evening,
up?
wisdom in Christ? Whether that's changing yourself, changing your situation, changing whatever you need to change. Because I remember having this conversation years ago with somebody about, you should only change and do things for yourself. And I said, to an extent, I believe that's true. But if someone motivates you, and they don't even have to say it, but like by being around them, it motivates you to change something about yourself, something about the way you do things, the way you respond to things, the way you act about things, the way you handle life, the way you do business on a day-to-day basis. you know is that inherently a bad thing, that someone came into your life and now even the change that you made might have been for them in your mind? Like, I did it for,
Right.
Sally or Brad or whatever, guys and girls, whatever. However, you made that change, but overall, like, that was a super positive change in your life, period. So was it wrong to make it that change for that person that you're developing love for, you are in love with? No. I'm gonna say no right now. I think people come into your life, and somebody said it earlier.
Reason or
It's either
lesson,
what is it,
yeah.
like love or lessons, or yeah, a reason or a lesson. It doesn't have to be a lesson, and then they come out of your life. It's a lesson, and then you're like, you know what? Maybe I can live my life better. And by living my life better because of this
Right.
person, I'm a better person overall. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be.
Right.
There's no one way street here. There's no ultimate answer. There's no one way of thinking about relationships, about love, about life, about anything in the world. We are conditioned to find one way of thinking and stick to it, as opposed to taking all ways of thinking, taking the things that apply to us, the things that help us, and moving on with our
Yeah.
lives. Then you're making
Yeah.
that change for yourself. Exactly. You're still making the change for yourself, even if you
Well,
make it for a different person. You know, we'll throw one out there. Let's say the way you handle stress is you go home and you drink every night, right? That's what you do. You drink till you get drunk and you go to sleep because it kills the pain for the fucking night, right? So, so you do that every night. But then you meet somebody who they drink, but they don't drink to get drunk, right? They can socially drink. They have one or two drinks and call it a night, regardless of how they're feeling, because they're responsible. They're more responsible than you are at that point in your life. They're more mature. But then you have a conversation with that person, like, I don't like you when you're drunk. I love the person that you are when you're completely sober. I even love the person that you are one or two drinks in. But when you drink, when you drink to get drunk, I don't like that person. It's a scary person. That person feels like it can hurt people. That person can, do a lot of bad things. And you're like, well, no one's ever told me that before. So you stop drinking for that person,
hmm
but ultimately you stop drinking for yourself, because that
Yeah.
person has just made you a better
Yeah.
person. And that is another facet of love. If the
Be a
person you're
better.
with
Nah,
makes you want to
man.
be a better
Ding,
person,
ding,
why,
ding.
why in the world, would you want to be with somebody that doesn't want you to be a better person? I'm not talking about like overnight change. I'm talking about the person that, like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, I want to do a little bit better than I
hmm
did yesterday. I just
hmm
I want to do a little bit better today. And like, after a week, after a month, after a year,
hmm
you're just
hmm
a better human being after all. Whether that person is your lover, whether that person is your friend, whether that person is a family member, whatever. Someone who makes you want to be a better person. But when you find that in your partner, you find a person that will
Yeah.
call you on your bullshit. All right. First of all, your partner should call you on your fucking bullshit. You know, you should always save text. You should throw it in people's faces because if they make you a promise and they fucking break it, you go back to July of
We had this
2015, right?
conversation, and
Listen
you
here.
said,
This is what you said. You know, you find that one person that literally makes you want to do business differently, you don't
yeah,
fucking let that person go.
and
You
it's
don't.
so rare.
You know, and we talk about red flags and we talk about what people bring to the table and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. As a man, your table should already be set. As a man, your table should already be set. You're bringing people to your table. They don't have to bring anything. They're not bringing fucking, you know, they're not bringing dessert. They're not bringing the silverware. They're not bringing the drinks. Your table's already fucking set. And when you find that person you care about as a man, you bring them to their table, and all they're going to do is make that table bigger and better and
Yeah.
brighter. And that's it.
Nah, man, you said ain't nothing but the truth. The person that you want to be with is the person that the person that you want to be with is the person that makes you want to be a better person. You know, when they say stuff like, it hurts me to see you hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're talking about the alcohol and like the drinking or whatever the case is, you know, it's so valuable, bro. Like people have no idea. People have no idea how valuable. Think about it, because it's so rare. Now I'm saying that earlier. It's so rare to find people who have true loyalty, true willingness to speak the truth to you in love, who are willing to look you in the face even when everybody else turns their back and say, "Yo, I'm here." Like, and you made a really good point, man, earlier when you said about the, you know, it's a good sign when you have peace, when you got the nightmares and things going on, and that person next to you can reach out and touch them, and it's just like, oh, all right, we good, we good. You know what I'm saying? I think to me, man, it's invaluable, bro. People just, it's just, because I'm much the same, bro. Like, I constantly find myself in my head. I'm in my mind. I'm constantly thinking about this, going through that, remembering this, yada, 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 yada. And that one person would say, hey, look at me. Sorry. It's okay. And just those words are more of a, here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you, man, all of this, like, and this is from guys, before my guys, all that boss chick, you got this, you got that. I don't care about none of that, man. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't care
No.
about you having your own whatever, whatever, whatever. Yeah, should you have a job, should you want to do stuff, all right, that's cool, that's great. But at the end of the day, I don't care about none of that, because like you said, you come to my table. I set the table. I got the house, we good. I need you. I want you to come in and turn that house into a home, like you mentioned earlier. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the reality. It's like, what's what Luther Vandross say, you know what I'm saying? A chair is still a chair, but a chair is not a house. A house is not a home if there's no one there, you know what I mean? And like, the reality is that the woman, man, your partner that really is the person that you want to really invest in is the one that truly turns that space and that house into a peaceful home, who makes it, you look forward to waking up. You look forward to going to bed. I look forward to coming to the house. I look forward to being seen with you. I look forward to having you with me. I don't need you to have $1,000,000. Guess what? Just seeing you. Yeah, right.
I got
Right. I got the $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Let me go get that. I'll go fight for that one. All I want you to do is be the person that comes to me, and I can lay my head on your chest and be like, yo.
I think that is worth more than all the money, all the time, everything in the world. And it's so hard to explain to somebody because, like me, I consider myself a decently big Luther, little Luther,
Right, that guy.
Luther
Well,
Vandross.
yeah, he had some time.
I
Things changed for Luther, you know what I mean? But yes, we're gonna go with young Luther, little Luther.
I, I, little Luther. I think about it like this. I look at it like this. I look at myself as a decently successful person, and my success is I don't need you financially. I don't need you physically. Everything that I need to get done gets done. Everything that I need to get paid for gets paid for. I'm not looking for someone to take care of me in that respect. I am looking for what we talked about earlier. I'm looking for peace. So when I look at you and I tell you that the only thing I want from you is your love and your loyalty, I mean all I need and I want from you is your love and your loyalty. And love and loyalty are just two words. There's a lot of little words that go into that. There's respect. There's, defense. There's, we can go on and on and on forever about it. But they don't have to give physically. They don't have to give monetarily. They don't have to give time-wise. You don't need a woman. You
don't need a woman.
Exactly. And honestly, vice versa. Women shouldn't need a man. They want a man, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're like this ultra successful,
Right.
high powered real estate
Right.
agent that makes $1 million a year. You can still be a successful woman on your own, and stuff like that. But I think when you truly love somebody, the only things you should want from them and need from them is love and loyalty. And then everything else just falls into place. And if you believe in that, and if you can you see that through, because it doesn't mean that it's not going to be, I'm not saying there's not going to be arguments, but if you shoot for more good days than bad, and I've always believed in this, if you can shoot for more good days than bad, then you're on the right track. It's not the perfect track. Every day is not going to be a fucking fairy tale. You're not going to agree on everything. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have disagreements. A recent conversation I've had the other day was, don't go to bed angry. And I've heard that many, many times throughout my life. Like, don't go to bed angry. Like, there's no reason to go to bed angry, especially if you're married to somebody. If you're sharing a home with somebody, if you're sharing a house, you're sharing a bed. Why the hell would you go to bed angry?
Right.
You stay up as many hours as it takes to fix that thing. Because life and time is very finite. We just don't know.
Yeah.
I work dangerous jobs as shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like, I don't need to be angry at people. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point? Like, hey, let's talk about it while we got time. Let's figure out why you're angry and what I did and what can I do better. I've been on this road of self-improvement for years now.
Yeah.
I posted a video earlier. I don't know if you saw it. I had a conversation the other night, and I had like that old me pop up, and it like really fucking made me feel shameful.
Yeah.
Because not only did I lie about it's not that it's not even that I lied. I just continued a lie that I've been holding on to for, enough years that it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And then instead of just accepting that it was a lie, I tried to justify it by saying that this person did this to me and that's why I did that. And like, that is such an old way of thinking for me.
Right.
And I honestly had thought that I was past that,
Right.
but it was such a knee-jerk reaction that like I had to look inward. And that's even why I made a video about it, because I think a lot of people get on social media and they just post their ideas and their feelings and stuff like that, but they don't talk about their struggles. They don't talk about the times that they fuck up.
Right.
I fucked up. I made a mistake because I did not correct that as far as I thought I had corrected it. That really fucking hit me because I like I said, I spent a lot of time doing a lot of self-improvement and a lot of, internal looking, and this pops out of nowhere and I failed. I failed the test, like, hey, did you really work on yourself? Nope. No, you didn't.
Right.
You fucking failed.
Congratulations. You suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Congratulations. You're not a better person yet. But it was a gut check. In the scheme of the universe, was it a universe ending incident? No. The conversation continued, understanding, forgiveness was given and stuff like that. But I think people should know that, on the road, and someone said this to me earlier, improvement is not linear and it's not perfect. It's day by day, and it's not in a straight line. You're going to improve in certain places, and other places you're not going to improve.
Mm-hmm.
The overall goal is what matters. It's not necessarily how you get there, as long as you're trying to get there every day, as long as you're continually trying to improve on yourself. And honestly, like, I'm glad that it happened, because now I know that I have some other shit that I need to address and take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, hey, man, that's real, bro. That's real, man.
I think it's hard. I think it's hard to get on the internet and tell people, you're like, hey, dude, like, you got fucked up, man. Like, I sit here and I preach this, but then I went ahead and I acted like this, and this is something that I told myself that I'm not going to do anymore, and I shouldn't do anymore, especially with the person that I did it with, and I did it anyway. Yeah. I did it because it was like a knee. I had been holding on to something so long. Yes, recognition and accountability, and like, and instead of and had I just taken accountability, I would have felt less bad, but I didn't
Right.
take accountability.
Yeah.
I turned around and I tried to say, you did this, so I did that. And
Right.
man,
Yeah.
like dude, I felt like a piece of shit going to bed last night. I felt like a piece of shit all morning today until I posted that video. You know, maybe I'll feel like a less of a piece of shit now that more people know about it. You know, we come from the military, so like, you know,
Yeah.
mass embarrassment is part of our
Right.
part
It's
of our
part of our
culture.
yeah.
So
Right.
like I felt the need to massively embarrass myself. That it's not perfect, man. And and I do believe everything that I talk about. I do believe everything that I preach.
Right.
You know, I just man, I'm human and I make mistakes, and like I'm not, I'm not a perfect person, but I do try.
Right.
Um, I try hard when it comes to love, man. When I love somebody, dude, I love so
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
and I can be very forgiving, but I'm only forgiving to the point where like I feel like in the past I used to feel like I would blame that person, um, blame them into understanding, blame them into their own accepting what they did.
Right.
But like none of that's fucking healthy. The healthiest part is to take accountability for what you did. That's like
Right.
focus
Right.
on yourself. Like there's nothing healthy about
No.
forcing the person that you love into a position where they feel like they have to do anything. That person should naturally want to do things because they love you, and you should naturally want to do
Right.
things because you love them.
Yeah.
Whether it's admitting to a lie
Yeah.
or not attacking them. Don't be defensive. Don't attack people for their feelings.
Yeah.
Because I think that's another thing that people deal with today in relationships is that when you try to voice your feelings, people take it as an attack, and you get mad at people for telling people how you feel.
Let me tell you. So I'm gonna tell you, everything you said just kind of hit me real. Like that's real, bro. Like, you know what it requires? Here's the big word. The thing that's so much. I would say one of the biggest things that hurts relationships, that hurts love, hurts society, hurts humanity, hurts everybody right now, is we lack. It takes humility.
Last night.
It,
It was a
it, it,
humbling
it
experience.
yeah.
You know.
It takes humility. If we could humble ourselves enough to just be real,
Yeah.
then I think we would open the door to so much better relationships, so much real love, because it takes humility. It takes sacrifice. It takes compromise. It takes, as you say, laying yourself at the altar. You know what I mean? Like, that's reality. You know what I mean? That's love. Love is saying, like, listen, I'm not perfect. Here it is. I'm laying my cards on the table. You know what I mean? But being able to recognize it, be accountable for it, and then move forward from it and grow from it. Not beat ourselves up about it. Just accept the fact, you know what, I messed up. Now what can I do? Can I live in the past, or am I going to move to the future? And I think that's what we have to do with our relationships, is that we have to be able to say, we disagreed here, but I'm not going to take this to bed with me. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you are still my partner. You are still my queen together. We are still running this race at the same pace. We are still doing this, right? And I'm not going to allow myself to taint our bedroom with our anger. You see what I'm saying? And it's funny you said that when you said don't go to bed angry. That's even in the Bible.
Yep. I know.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
I've read the Bible,
I
right?
know. It's so funny.
In
Like
two
when you
late.
said that, I was like, I'm telling you, I say, man, this guy here, boy, he know more about the Bible than he really got more word in him than he know.
You
But yeah, man. No,
you want to know why? You want to know why I know about the Bible? You got to know your enemies, right? I know you Christians are always trying to stomp us out. You know.
yeah, man.
No.
But I mean, but it's real though, bro. It's real, bro. And I think that, the reality is like when like right here, you and I, man, we've got this love, man, where it's like we can have these conversations. We can
Yeah.
talk and it's all good, and we can agree, we can disagree, but it does not affect the relationship. The problem is that so many people let their feelings and let their problems impact the relationship. And the reality is the relationship is the relationship. This disagreement that you're having, or this mess up that you had, or this mistake that you make, that is not the relationship. You made a choice to be committed, especially in a marriage. It's like, listen, you ain't gonna get it right every time, but that doesn't affect the fact that I chose to commit to you. You see what I'm saying? I chose to be here. I choose to love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like until you step outside of this relationship, this is us. This is our.
Well, that's where love is an action. Like
Yeah.
now, you know,
I,
so if I really if I really dive into that thought process, right? Yes, I believe love is an action, but I also believe love is a feeling. So you are doing things based off of you're doing things in spite of some feelings, and you're doing things because of other feelings. You love that person, so the actions that you take should support your feelings of love.
right.
That's that's really what I get from it. That's how I interpret,
Mm,
what they're saying.
mm,
And you can sit here and you can go down the road of, well, if you love somebody, you do this. If you love somebody, you do that. Well, yeah, that's 100% correct, because if you love somebody, you have to take the necessary actions to make sure that you are protecting that love.
yeah.
Because there is going to be things that are going to try to turn you away from love your entire relationship. You know,
Mm-mm.
your entire relationship. And the longer that relationship goes on, the harder it is. Anytime you have a problem, you can always reach out on social media. There's 20 dudes that want to get in your inbox,
Right.
20
Right.
girls that want to get in your inbox. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, you can go and get that immediate affirmation, that immediate
Yeah.
feel good, and then and then you run back. So for
Enjoyable.
me, the way I feel about it is like, if you're in a relationship, and I talked to this, one of the guys I work with was talking about this. If your partner, guy or girl, is like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with you, I don't know, being friends on Facebook or following a certain person, just unfollow them. Because who's your partner? Is it this person, or is it, that hot blonde that posts bikini pics, or that hot dude that posts shirtless pics? Like, who's your partner? That dude don't
Right.
give a fuck about you, but the dude who's talking to you about his feelings, that came to you, that woman that came to her about her feelings, about it makes her feel insecure. That's your job as a partner. That's your 100, is to make them not feel insecure. Like, oh, I'm sorry, that was from my past. I didn't even think about it. They're gone. Easy day. What else you got?
Right. Because the juice ain't worth the squeeze. It's like, all right, look, I am not so attached to these people and these things in my history, in my past, etc. I am not so attached to these folks that I'm willing to jeopardize you. Now, and here's the thing: it may not be one of them situations where it is a big deal. It may be absolutely nothing, but
Yeah,
I'm willing to say, okay, since this bothers you, I'm willing to have this conversation and then we
absolutely.
can get to the bottom as to why does this bother you. But before I even get to that conversation, guess what? Boom. What's next? Ain't that
I
big of
think
a
it's
deal.
I think it's the problem with independence nowadays,
Yeah.
is that, like, people just want to do whatever the fuck they want, which is fine, because as a libertarian, I think everybody should do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. Keyword, hurt other people. You choose to be in a relationship, you give up a little bit of that. You are sacrificing a little bit of that independence, because now it is your responsibility to be worried about how that other person feels.
Right.
Okay, so there
Right.
are certain things, like, if I'm in the military, you meet me, I'm in the military. I'm in the military. I'm staying in the military. So your opinion about me staying in the military is going to be a lot less than, right?
Right.
Now, we're together before the military. It's a big old conversation we have to have.
Right.
So it goes way further than,
Yeah.
guys and
There's
girls on the
a
internet.
lot of dynamics.
It goes big. It goes further than, gym wear. It goes further than everything else. I break it down to, like, I don't want to do anything that I don't want my partner doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do anything to your partner that you don't want them doing to you.
Right.
So, if it's after work and your shift goes out for drinks, and they're okay with you going out, and you should be, because it's a group of people. But if you show up and you're the only woman there, or you're the only male there, did you really put yourself in a position? You're not going to take advice from a podiatrist if you need to get rid of acne. Hey, you can get pimples on your feet, all right?
True.
You know,
Weird though.
so should you, like, part of that is not putting yourself in situations that could, one, be misinterpreted, because maybe it's completely innocent, but it can be misinterpreted, and two, put you in a position to where you can be put in a vulnerable state of mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes with a lot of growth. That comes with a lot of experience, and I think that comes with a deeper understanding of love and commitment. We should title this "Love and Commitment," because I think
Right.
commitment should have been a bigger issue and a bigger
Right.
topic. Oh, damn, we've been at this for an hour and a half though. Oh,
Oh, dang. It's been dang, good conversation. All right, well. Yeah. Love and commitment. And you know what? Clearly, I do believe we just scratched the surface, and this definitely needs a part two.
I think we're gonna have to do a part two. I think we're gonna have to do a part two. Let's do a break for our next episode. We'll do
Yeah.
something else, and let's come back
Yeah.
to it after we've had some
We'll
time.
come back. And what I want to do is we'll post on the stories, like drop your comments and questions and stuff like that. Because I did a question box.
I saw
And
that,
so
yeah.
it'll be good for people to drop questions and things. Hey, what's up, guys? For those who are just joining in, we are coming down to the end of this puppy. We didn't realize we've been going hard, man. If you're just joining, I highly recommend you either go on YouTube. This will be posted on YouTube soon. And if you missed it and you want to watch it on here, you can go back and watch it on here. We'll post it on the stories. It's been a blast, man. It got real today. Love from a real perspective. Love and commitment from just a real raw perspective, not all the rainbows and butterflies, you know what I mean? But we did talk a little about that. But at the end of the day, man, we appreciate you guys. We're going to jump off right here, man, because it's already, dang. But that's how we get, man. That's how it goes.
Hey, man. It's all good. Like, that's what we're here for, to talk. So, yeah. Appreciate the vulnerability. Yeah, sometimes you got to make yourself vulnerable to be stronger, man.
Absolutely.
That's what you got to do. If you want to be stronger mentally and physically and everything else, emotionally, then be vulnerable, man. Tell people about your fuck ups. Let them see you overcome them. And I felt like that was I felt like I fucked up. So I felt like people should know that, hey, man, I'm on the internet and I talk about all this shit, but like, I'm human. I make mistakes. Recognize it. I'm gonna take accountability for it. And I'm gonna move forward and try not to do that anymore. I'm not gonna say try not to do that anymore.
Right.
I'm not gonna do
authenticity,
it.
man. It's just authenticity.
Yeah.
It's
try to be authentic,
man. That's what it is.
So, anyway. Great show.
Yes, sir. Great show. Jump on. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.